The Trump's motorcade had to park on a nearby road, and he was forced to sneak in via the back entrance.
Oh boy, I felt like I was crossing the border, actually. You know, it's true. I was crossing the border when I got here.
Well, right now everybody's protesting because Trump is coming, so yeah.
What do you think about Donald Trump being here?
Well, I personally don't like him, so I'm just here supporting the other fellow people who don't support him as well.
Why don't you support him?
I don't support him for his ideas of immigration and women's rights and how he treats almost everybody. That's just my opinion about it. So that's one of the main reasons that I don't support Trump, for his beliefs.
Are you a student or at work?
I'm a student and a graduate. I'm a graduate student, but I'm also an intern for some fashion organization.
Where do you work? Where do you go to school?
Oh, I'm not going to mention where I go to school.
I'm Alana, and I'm here because Trump incites hate and racism and everything that, that today's generation will not stand for. So,
Why do you think he's getting so much support and money?
I think he's getting support because he's inciting fear, and everything that, he's saying is just kind of stirring the pot for what people already thought, and he's kind of just confirming all of those nonsense beliefs. And it's just, it's a lot of people who are afraid, and it's just things that they kind of thought were true but never really thought, because no one would say it. But as a powerful figure for decades now, Donald Trump, he has that respect and he has that power.
What are people afraid of?
People are afraid of other. They're afraid of what they don't know, and they try to say that it's wrong to be other, but it's not.
You think he's scapegoating people like immigrants or Mexicans?
Absolutely. I mean, I am Mexican and Guatemalan, and I was born here, and my ancestors were here, Aztecas, Mayas, Native Americans. That's my culture, that's my family. That let's not forget European colonization and imperialism. Who were the first immigrants, or who were the most powerful immigrants, let's say, and those were the Europeans. And let's not forget, the torture, the slavery of, indigenous people, of black people, for centuries.
So you're saying he's using racism, saying the whites, that belongs to the white people.
He is setting off white supremacy. Every white supremacist, he is kind of igniting, he's starting that flame.
Do you think it's going to go very far?
I hope not. And honestly, that's why this protest is going on, because we're trying to stop it from happening. So it really just depends on, I'd say, the older generation giving us the baton, I guess, and giving us the opportunity to live the life we want to live.
And the majority of people in California now are minorities, immigrants, yet he seems to be attacking the very people that are the majority of people in California.
Exactly, and that's the problem. It's idiotic. You're laughing because we are the majority, and we have been for years. And again, immigration is a human right. It's a human right. And let's not forget. So for people who don't know, there is a fence at the border at the moment, and there are gaps in the fence. It is not a complete one, just a united fence. There are gaps. So if let's say you get to a fence, you can walk 20 meters and there's no fence. You can just cross.
So you don't believe his solution for stopping people is going to be a wall?
Absolutely not, because let's not forget, there are hundreds of acts that for wildlife and preserving wildlife that were broken when when people thought that the fence should go up. Hundreds of wildlife acts to preserve wildlife were broken, and there are animals that are native to that region that is near the border that are not, they are dying. They live on one side of the border, and then there's a fence put up, and their food sources on the other. But it's also preserve what is already there, preserve the nature that is there. Why put up this wall of hate and bigotry? You know, it's ridiculous.
Okay, and do you go to school? Are you a student?
I am a student, yeah.
Where at?
Middle College of San Mateo.
Does other students feel the same way about in San Mateo?
Pretty much. I mean, the class I'm in, it's just one junior class and one senior class, and that's it. And then the rest we take college classes at the College of San Mateo, and pretty much, you know, Trump is kind of just the start of a joke for us. And, you know, all of us have different perspectives, different points of views, different lives, different, you know, everything. But I think we can all say that, you know, Trump just stands for hatred and just everything we are not.
Let me just tell you here, Cheska Reyes, and I just want to say that Kanye for president.
So you're unhappy with Trump?
No, absolutely. I don't like him.
Why not?
Well, come on. Is that really a real question?
All we gotta say,
I gotta have some.
all we gotta say is fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Donald Trump!
What's the real shit? What the fuck is she doing? All these people. So, what do you think Trump means for people today?
He's a racist. He's a sexist. He's a capitalist. He's just trash. There's not much.
He gets so much TV coverage, and why is he getting support among some people?
Because people are ignorant, you know? I think that a lot of the times, they're ignorant. They don't know, they don't understand, you know? I don't really know how to elaborate, sorry.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
You go to high school?
Yep.
Your other high school students, what do they think about what's going on with Trump?
No one likes Trump. You know, our school is very liberal, so we're very for Bernie. We believe that everyone's equal, and Trump does not believe that.
By capitalism, why are you against capitalism?
It puts the bourgeoisie up there. It's a form of oppression where people of color, women, people with disabilities, we cannot rise up in society. We are always under economic stress. We are economically oppressed, and that's just what capitalism does to people.
So he wants to be a good capitalist, helping people. You don't believe that?
I don't think that exists.
You don't believe in good capitalism, huh?
Can't say that I do.
So what kind of society would you like to see?
Well, I think that Bernie's ideology of like a socialist society is pretty great. I think it could work out, you know, pretty well.
Yeah.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! I was gonna make my time easier.
So you got a dump Trump sign here. Why don't you talk about why you're here today?
I'm against Trump.
What's your name?
Mansa. I'm from Oakland. But I'm a dumb Trump type of guy. I mean, you know, I thought he was all right until I hear him saying this shit against Mexicans, Muslims. You know, he has no character. He's nothing left. And he's only appealing to white people in America. We were trying to diversify America. Now this guy's going the other way. To hell with him. He's simple, you know, so why play with it?
You think he's going to be successful in whipping up people against each other in this country?
Well, I mean, if he does, it's because we let him. It's not because he's so smart. He's not smart at all. He may be playing on the retrograde hatred inside of Europeans. He may drag that up and get some fervor going. But if he can't do that and get us fighting each other, he can't win.
So what are the solutions in this country? What do you think the solutions are to the problems that people face that he's using to build his campaign?
I think we have to do what we're doing today. We have to bring different folk together from different nationalities in a situation where we don't have time to fight each other. We're here for a common cause. And so we can convene something on a day like this. They're not at that point, but it's something that could happen in a crowd like this.
What kind of work do you do?
I don't work any longer. I'm retired, man. You know, I'm disabled.
Is the struggle making a living or a life?
Well, I'm selling shirts for $10 a piece, so I'm not making a lot of money. But I mean, I just felt it was a good cause, and I might as well put a sign up to say "Dump Trump."
This sign means that we want the return of our land back. This is stolen land. There is no justice on stolen land, and Donald Trump doesn't get that.
Doesn't Trump think that the land belongs to him?
It's not his. It's not.
Why does this ideology that everything belongs to the Trump and people like that, what do you think that comes from?
Money, greed.
And he said in Iraq that we should take the oil and make them pay for the invasion of Iraq. That ideology, do you think it's gaining support in this country?
He's trying to gain support. He's trying to gain support and get that movement, but it's not happening.
What do you think would happen if he was a president?
It's not going to happen.
Are you supporting the Democrats?
No comment.
You think the Democrats have a solution to the problems in this country, or getting your land?
Land needs to be returned back to the original people is what I think.
You think the Democrats are going to do that?
No,
What's going to make that happen?
the people. People power.
That's why you're here today?
That's why I'm here today. Trump needs to get out. He's not welcome in our state.
The majority of people in California.
In our country. He needs to get out. He's the first immigrant here. His people came on that boat, and they need to all go back.
But juxtapose himself with violent demonstrators attacking a cop car and police officers, then he can create a picture that will help him get elected.
And to observe, people are protesting hate. You know, Trump's violent, racist rhetoric. That's what people are protesting.
What's your name?
My name's Brian.
So you came out here today to...
I came out to lend support and to observe. That's pretty much it.
What brings the rise of somebody like Trump in America today?
I think a lot of things do. I think, first of all, just the capitalist system as it is, it disenfranchises a lot of people. And, you know, various groups, you have Trump's people over here, you have other groups over here, they internalize it different ways. And what you end up with is a candidate like Trump, or a presumptive nominee, who has credibility, at least in the eyes of some people. You know, I think what it is, just on the whole, it's a symptom of this capitalist system where, you know, that just inherently has a few people, wealthy people, over here at the top and everyone else.
Doesn't Trump say everybody can be rich? He's going to make everybody rich. You don't believe that?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. You know, who are you with?
KPFA. And what kind of work do you do? Or you go to school or you work?
I'm an electrician and part-time activist and musician. I do a few things.
So you don't think he's going to gain any support in California?
You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I would say not so much here as in other places, but it's hard to tell.
And what do your fellow workers think about Trump?
Oh, no one likes Trump. No one I know likes Trump. If they do, they don't tell me.
And he's whipping up racism against the Arab Americans, against the Mexicans, has a history attacking the youth in New York. Black youth said that they murdered this person, you know. This kind of hysteria that he's kind of ripping up, do you think the Democrats are going to be able to answer that, or will answer that? What do you think the Democrats' solution to this?
You know, unfortunately, I think Democrats historically and Republicans are all part of the same problem. They're part of the problem. You know, it's the so-called two-party system, which is really one party, that you know, they're run by corporate interests, they're run by big money, and that's the root of all this. You know, like I said, that's the reason you can have someone like Trump have as much credibility as he does with a certain segment of the population. You know, people feel disenfranchised, so you have a certain group of people over here, I'll just say it, white folks, over here who, if they feel disenfranchised, they feel that their privilege is lacking, someone has to be to blame. Someone has to be a scapegoat. Trump feeds into that.
But there's no political alternative in this country to Democrats and Republicans. What do you think about that?
Well, there are political alternatives, but the people have to realize that. You know,
are you for a workers' party or a working class party or some kind of alternative?
I am for some type of alternative. I am an independent, not American independent. Okay, there's a big difference. I'm an independent.
Are you in a union?
I'm sorry?
Are you in a union?
I am.
What does the union think about Trump?
They don't support Trump either. I'm an electrician, so yeah, they don't support Trump.
What do you think the union should do about the situation we have? Because it seems they spend a lot of their money on politicians, a lot of money on elections. You think that's going to solve the problem in this country?
You're saying that the unions spend money on politicians? And I mean, on some level, the unions are supposed to represent what its membership wants. So to that end, maybe, yeah, sure, they spend some money, campaigning for certain candidates that they like. I think I'd rather it be that way than say Lehman Brothers or some of these other.
Well, the unions say that they're representing their membership, but a lot of their work is election campaigns, supporting people in elections, door knocking, and that kind of thing. I mean, when it's the Democrats and Republicans, what kind of change are you going to get?
Well, I don't think you're going to get any change with Democrats and Republicans. I don't. That's not what's going to happen. That's a paradigm that's old and unsustainable, and I mean, it's run its course, as we can see here. This is a symptom of that.
So what's the solution?
A solution, I think, is consensus amongst the people to understand that they have more choices than just Democrats or Republicans. And that something else, I mean, for instance, Bernie Sanders, he's saying all the right stuff. I guess he's looked at in some circles as radical, which it's not radical. He wouldn't have been radical 50 years ago. We're at a point.
He wants to reform the capitalist system to go back to Roosevelt.
Well, sure he does. But I mean, it's a sign of the times when for him to be viewed as radical by saying something like that, for that to be radical, to me it's common sense. But he's also under the Democrat banner too, and there are policy issues with him. So I don't think that our salvation, if you will, lies within a Democrat-Republican paradigm.
Fuck Trump, save the kids. Fuck Trump, save the kids. Fuck Trump.